a 6-year-old boy, loses everything in the war. But when a soldier saves him, he doesn't just survive, he becomes Russia's youngest soldier and a legend. This is the true story of Soldier Boy 2019. We're in Russia, where a happy family is spending a peaceful day by the river. The little boy, Sergei, is sitting high up on a tree branch. His brother, Petya, is fishing nearby, and their mother is washing clothes in the river. Everything feels calm, until the sudden roar of German fighter planes echoes through the sky. Sergei's mother panics and quickly tells her sons to hide in the bushes, because this was the time of World War II. But little 6-year-old Sergei just smiles and says, "I'm not afraid." He picks up his slingshot and fires a stone toward the jet, and just then, the plane explodes and crashes. But when Sergei turns around, his mother and brother are gone. He freezes in fear, and in the next moment he wakes up. It was only a dream. Then a knock on the door. He thinks, maybe his mother has come back. He runs to open it, but standing there is their neighbor, trembling with fear. She thanks God that Sergei is still alive, and then with tears in her eyes she whispers, "Your mother and brother, they're gone." The little boy doesn't understand. He insists on staying home, waiting for his mom to return, but the woman cries, saying, "The Germans have attacked. You need to run." She starts packing his clothes. Before she can finish, German soldiers arrive nearby. She tells Sergei to escape through the window, and as he runs, she's hit by a bullet, falling right there. Sergei keeps running through the woods, heartbroken, watching his home burning behind him. He calls out for his mother again and again, but no one answers. That night, he sleeps in the cold forest, alone. The next morning, while drinking water by the river, he hears soldiers' voices. He hides behind the bushes. German soldiers are sitting down to eat. Suddenly, a snake slithers near Sergei. He's terrified, but he doesn't make a sound, because if the Germans hear him, they'll kill him too. After a while, the soldiers leave. Hungry and weak, Sergei crawls out, hoping to find some leftover food, but there's nothing. He keeps walking through the forest, tired, scared, and limping, with one torn sandal. On his way, he spots some wild berries. He eats them quickly, but suddenly, there's an explosion. He's thrown to the ground. Still, he doesn't give up. He grabs a stick, ready to fight back, as if he could take on the Germans himself, but there's no one there. In truth, Sergei is now exhausted, wounded, and barely holding on. Just then, 2 Soviet soldiers find him. They pick him up and carry him to their camp. Inside, Commander Kuznetsov is briefing his men about a German scout unit nearby, when a soldier rushes in, saying, "Commander, we found a child in the forest." The commander is stunned. He sits Sergei down and says gently, "Don't be afraid, son. You're safe now." He asks, "What's your name? Where are you from?" Sergei quietly answers, "I'm from Shishkin." A soldier asks, "Where are your parents?" Sergei's eyes fill with tears. "My mom and brother, they're gone." The commander places his hand on the boy's hand and says, "You're a brave soul, and brave people don't cry." Then he gives Sergei food to eat. Outside, other soldiers are writing letters to their families because they know a great battle is about to begin. And just then, the alarm sounds. The Germans have launched their attack. This is where the real war begins, between the Soviet army and the Germans. Sergei was badly wounded, so he was being treated at the base along with the other injured soldiers. A kind nurse smiles at him and says, "If you let me clean your wounds properly, I'll give you some popcorn." Sergei frowns and replies, "I don't like popcorn. I like army tanks." The nurse laughs softly. "All right, I'll give you all the tanks you want, but first, you need to get better." The next day, Commander Kuznetsov comes to visit him. Sergei looks up and says proudly, "When I grow up, I'm going to be a soldier too." The commander smiles. "You already have the heart of a brave one," he says warmly. Sergei's eyes sparkle as he asks, "Do you have a medal? And a pistol too?" The commander nods and shows him both. "This pistol was given to me by the general himself for fighting bravely and helping our country win." Sergei, full of curiosity, asks, "Do you have an airplane too?" The commander chuckles. "No, not that one." So Sergei takes the commander's hand and draws a little airplane on it with his finger. Outside, the nurse, Katya, talks to the commander. "Sergei's such a smart boy," she says softly, "and so sweet. We even have goat's milk here. Why don't we just keep him with us? He has no one left now. His family is gone." The commander's face turns serious. "This is a battlefield," he says quietly. "There's no place for a child here. If he stays, his life will always be in danger." And with that, he walks away. Katya feels heartbroken. Later that evening, Sergei is talking with a kind soldier named Zhora. Zhora brings him a small gift, a pair of binoculars. Sergei loves them instantly. That night, Katya speaks to another nurse. "That little boy, he's so brave and so full of life. I can't let him go," she says sadly, "but the commander wants to send him away. If that happens, I may never see him again." The next morning, a soldier approaches the commander and says, "Sir, we need another machine gun for the fight ahead. And also, everyone in the regiment has grown fond of Sergei. Please, sir, don't send him away." But the commander shakes his head. "It's too dangerous here. I've already signed the papers. He'll be sent to an orphanage." The soldier leaves, disappointed. Even the commander feels the weight of his own decision. Deep down, he doesn't want the boy to go either. The following day, a car arrives to take Sergei away. When the boy sees the commander, he stands straight and salutes, just like a real soldier. soldier. The commander brings him a wooden toy gun. Sergei hugs him tightly, tears in his eyes. "I don't want to go," he cries. "They'll kill me out there. Please let me stay with you." The commander's eyes soften. He kneels down and asks gently, "Sergei, would you like to be my son?" Sergei nods, smiling through his tears. The commander rips the orphanage papers to pieces. That night, all the soldiers gather around, sewing together a little army uniform for Sergei. Each one gives advice on how to make it fit perfectly. Later, the commander wakes Sergei from his sleep. "A real soldier never sleeps too long," he says. "You must be ready before a matchstick burns out." Sergei gets dressed in his brand new uniform, his heart filled with pride. As he steps outside, all the soldiers salute him. But suddenly, the sky roars, German planes appear above them, and bombs begin to fall. The base shakes as explosions erupt around them. Many soldiers are wounded, and the real test of courage begins. Sergei began asking everyone about Commander Kuznetsov and Aunt Katya, but no one had any answers. Finally, he went to a doctor and asked, "Have you seen Aunt Katya or the commander? They're alive, right?" The doctor looked at him, his voice calm but heavy. "In war, son, we don't ask who lived or who died. A soldier's only mission is to help his country win." He gently placed a hand on Sergei's shoulder. "We have many wounded soldiers here. Why don't you help them?" Without a word, Sergei began giving water to every injured man he could find. One soldier handed him a letter. It was from the soldier's family. Sergei opened it and began reading aloud. "Everything is fine at home. Our cow is healthy again, and she's giving plenty of milk. We'll win this war." A faint smile appeared on the soldier's face. In the next scene, we see Katya again. She's gently tucking Sergei into bed. As she does, the commander arrives. The way he looks at her, you can tell he cares deeply for her. He's about to say something from his heart, but before he can, Sergei wakes up, smiles, and runs straight into the commander's arms. Later, the commander takes Sergei for a walk. Along the way, the boy asks, "Who should I thank for my uniform?" The commander takes him to the tailor's tent, but when they get there, it's nothing but ashes. The tent was destroyed in a German air raid. Sergei's face falls. The commander quietly says, "In war, son, there's no time for little thank yous." The next day, the commander meets with his men to plan their next move. Sergei appears and proudly asks, "What's my mission for today?" The commander smiles and says, "A truck will arrive soon with letters for our soldiers. You'll collect them and deliver each one." Sergei salutes, takes the mailbag, and runs off. One by one, he hands out letters, but being a little mischievous, he makes the soldiers dance before giving them their mail. The men laugh, and for a few moments, the war feels far away. The following day, Sergei uses his binoculars to scan the nearby fields. Suddenly, he spots something, a hidden soldier's leg sticking out from the tall grass. He rushes back to the base and alerts the unit. The Soviet soldiers quickly move in, and together they capture a group of German spies hiding nearby. The entire regiment celebrates Sergei's bravery. That evening, the commander comes to him and says, "The government has approved it. From today, you are my son." Sergei's eyes fill with joy. The commander takes him to share the news with Katya. By the riverbank, Katya sits quietly. Just then, a soldier approaches her with a bouquet of flowers. "After the war," he says softly, "I'll bring you even more beautiful ones because I love you." Katya blushes, and they talk for a while. The commander sees it all from a distance, his heart heavy, his eyes quiet with pain, because he too loves Katya. Sergei runs up to her, smiling. "I didn't come alone," he says. "The commander's here too." But the commander only stands there for a moment, then silently walks away. Days later, the war returns in full force. Sergei carries ammunition boxes to the front lines, helping the soldiers reload their rifles. He delivers one last box and heads back toward the camp. Meanwhile, the commander scans the battlefield through his binoculars. A soldier rushes in, shouting, "Sir, someone's cut the communication wire. We've lost contact with the control room." The commander immediately orders, "Go fix it, right now." The soldier runs off, but Sergei quietly follows him. Suddenly, German fire rains down. The soldier is hit and falls to the ground. Sergei rushes to him, panicked. "Where do I connect these wires?" he cries. With fading strength, the soldier whispers, "Just connect them together, and the signal will return." Without hesitation, Sergei kneels in the open field, bullets flying past, and joins the wires together. Sparks fly, and the connection is restored. The Soviet line comes alive again, all because of one brave little boy. That night, Sergei sat beside a soldier by the fire and asked curiously, "How do people get married?" The soldier smiled warmly. "Well, first, two people fall in love, and then they get married." Sergei's eyes lit up, an idea forming in his young mind. The next day, he ran to Katya and said, "Commander isn't feeling well. He hasn't eaten or drunk anything all day." Worried, Katya immediately grabbed her things and followed Sergei to the commander's tent. The moment they arrived, Sergei quietly slipped away, leaving them alone. Katya looked at the commander and asked gently, "Why aren't you eating? Are you sick?" The commander gave a faint smile. "Who told you that?" "Sergei did," she replied softly. The commander chuckled. "I'm perfectly fine. There's nothing to worry about." Katya didn't say another word. She simply turned and walked away. As she left, the commander realized maybe he'd said the wrong thing. He sighed and followed her outside. Meanwhile, Sergei stood on a wooden lookout post, scanning the area through his binoculars. Suddenly, he spotted a cat in the distance, and moments later, the barking of dogs filled the air. He ran down to the soldiers training the dogs and asked excitedly, "Can I ride one of them?" The soldiers laughed and nodded. Sergei climbed on, laughing as the dogs trotted along, until until they suddenly saw the cat and started chasing it. But the cat was running toward a field filled with hidden mines. Before Sergei could react, a soldier raced in on a motorcycle, blocking the dogs just in time, saving Sergei's life. Later, we see the commander and Katya again. The commander finally gathers the courage to speak his heart. "Katya," he says softly, "will you be Sergei's mother?" Katya smiles and says yes. Just then, a postman arrives, handing the commander a letter. "Sir, this just came in from Army headquarters." The commander nods and tells him to leave it on the table. The next day, all the soldiers, along with the commander and Sergei, prepare to move out. Orders from headquarters: relocate their base to a new position. On the way, they stop by a small house to have lunch. As they eat, Sergei's eyes wander up to the ceiling. Part of it was broken, covered only by a piece of cloth. He asks curiously, "What happened here?" A man inside the house explains, "A German bomb fell through the roof and hit the floor, but it never exploded, so I covered it with a cloth." The commander's expression changes immediately. "Everyone out of the house, now." The soldiers carefully remove the bomb and take it to a safe location. Sergei waits outside in the commander's jeep, playing with a small pistol he found. Suddenly, a loud explosion shakes the ground. Smoke and fire rise in the distance. Several soldiers are wounded, including the commander himself. Even then, he calls out to his men, "Keep moving forward." Later, we see the commander speaking with a general. "I've gathered all my soldiers," he reports firmly. Just then, Sergei walks in, salutes smartly, and asks, "Commander, what's my mission today?" The commander smiles. "Today you'll inspect the soldiers' uniforms." Sergei salutes again and takes his mission seriously. He gathers all the soldiers together and announces, "Anyone with torn boots, step forward." He carefully inspects everyone one by one, while another soldier writes down the names of those who need replacements. Once the task is done, Sergei proudly walks to the general. "Sir, I've listed the names of all the soldiers with torn boots. Well done, young soldier. Well done." The next day, Sergei was called before the general. In front of the entire regiment, the general pinned a medal to his chest, honoring the young boy's incredible bravery in battle. At the same ceremony, the commander's battalion was awarded the Guard Unit flag, a symbol of courage and sacrifice. But that night, during another battle, tragedy struck. An explosion went off near the commander, and he was badly injured. Sergei rushed to his side, tears filling his eyes. Katya tried to comfort him, whispering, "Your dad is alive, Sergei. He's going to be fine." Sergei sat beside the commander, holding his hand tightly. The commander opened his eyes, his voice weak but steady. "Don't cry, son, because a soldier never cries." The next morning, Sergei marched alongside his battalion once again. The war was finally over. Germany had surrendered. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true hero tales.